If you have fat loss goals, but you're so busy, you find yourself going through drive-thrus, eating at fast food restaurants, or you're looking for some better ideas that don't require you to cook from home from the grocery store, you're going to love this challenge because I got a ton of great ideas for you. I'm doing a 30-day fat loss on the go challenge, and these are the rules. Number 1, absolutely no cooking from home. Number 2, I can eat out at fast food joints and restaurants. Rule number 3, I can use the grocery stores for quick eats and microwavable foods. And number 4, I can use supplements in order to hit my nutritional needs. We are into week number 3 here, and I've already been able to lose 4 pounds over the last couple of weeks, even though I'm eating fast food joints, including KFC. This week I go to A&W, I go to McDonald's and I get a Big Mac. I go to Wendy's, Tim Hortons. I try out some microwavable dinners. I make a chocolate salad. I have quite a few sweet treats along the way. Then I do a body composition test so I can see where my body fat percentage is compared to when I started the challenge. We're going to start off by reviewing 11 different eating styles I use throughout the week. Going from the worst to the best, we're going to discuss the protein and calories, the cost, and whether or not it's likely going to help you hit your fat loss goals. So starting off at spot number 11 has to be McDonald's because I ordered something I really shouldn't, but I'd never had before.
Hi there, can I just get a Big Mac?
That's right, this will be my first time ever having an actual Big Mac. So finally, after years of watching people have it, I finally got to try one.
That Big Mac sauce is actually pretty good. I'm impressed with that.
So part of the reason I wanted to try the Big Mac wasn't just to try it, but also I wanted to compare. A couple of weeks ago, I had a turkey bacon club from Tim Hortons. And what really interests me is it almost has the exact same calories as a Big Mac. Now, neither of them actually came with a lot of protein. So one of the strategies you'll see me do is buy pre-cooked chicken strips so that I can simply add extra protein to any meal I want on the go very affordably. So I added some extra chicken strips to the sandwich, and I also ate some turkey strips on the side with the Big Mac. Both of the meals came out to around 700 calories and around 50 grams of protein. And neither of them come with much nutritional value. But my main point here is a Big Mac is not much different than a Tim sandwich. And honestly, I wouldn't suggest either of them in a fat loss phase unless you simply enjoy the sandwich and you want to make it fit your calories as a bit of a treat. And by no means is the Big Mac a cheaper option, as adding in the turkey strips, it comes out to about $12.03 for this meal. So this meal had modest satiety, it didn't come more affordable, it didn't come with good nutritional value, some protein, so I'll rate it a D+. Then in spot number 10, we have a Tim Hortons meal. I was looking to try something that might have more nutrients from Tim, so I went with the loaded bowls because I would imagine it would come with more vitamins and minerals. Turns out that's not the case. It comes with a lot of rice and a lot of sauce, and very little lettuce.
What do we got? We got 4 pieces of lettuce.
Now the bowl by itself comes in around 470 calories and around 24 grams of protein. So then I would protein anchor it using some of my extra meat packs that I bought prior. This way it would total to about 630 calories and 55 grams of protein. And because of the additional cost of protein, this came out to $15.39, so it's not necessarily a cheaper meal. So it doesn't come with a lot of nutrients, it doesn't come at a better cost, and it doesn't come with a lot of protein. So overall, I don't think this is that great of a meal, especially with the amount of sauce and sugar that's in it. However, when it comes to flavor,
Okay, it's pretty good. I like that sauce.
but I wasn't very full from it, and I was hungry soon after, so I'm going to rate this a C- overall. Then in the number 9th spot would be my A&W meal. I went to A&W and I got myself a Papa Burger, but this time I tried to get it on a lettuce wrap in order to lower the calories and have higher protein. Now admittedly, I did put some onion rings on the burger because there was a deal on onion rings and I got some for Angelina, but it's not that many more calories. Normally a Papa Burger is around 650 calories, so I'd minus about 130 calories for what a bun would be. Now a few more onion rings would add a few more calories, but it makes such a difference for flavor.
It's better than a Big Mac.
The Papa Burger itself would only have 33 grams of protein, so I would need to use some pre-cooked chicken strips and I would eat those on the side. So altogether that would come out to 670 calories and 50 grams of protein. Total cost including the chicken strips came out to $10.10. Now it was a bit of a messy setup having to use a lettuce wrap. And overall satiety and feeling of fullness was moderate to light, and I was pretty hungry within a couple hours later. I'd say low to moderate nutrients with the lettuce, and it was modestly priced, so I'm going to say C+ overall. In spot number 8 has to be Quesada, burrito, and taco. I really love burrito and taco places because you can get bowls. I double my protein here and they're very generous on protein, and I love that you could also add a bunch of extra vegetables that will add to satiety. The only two major downsides to this place is that it was expensive. It was over $20, and you have to predict your calories because they don't have nutritional information that you can use accurately, so I predicted it was just over 600 calories and around 50 grams of protein. So this was a very tasty, a very filling, and a good good nutrient dense meal, but it was hard to predict the calories and it was very expensive. So I'm going to rate it a B+ overall. And just a side note, caution how much hot sauce you use.
I'm sweating after that one.
Spot number 7 has to be the microwavable TV dinners that I got. But it's a funny story because initially I was looking over all the TV dinners and criticizing them.
This is actually very lean protein. 28 grams of protein. Container is 190 calories. It's actually not bad.
That's when I realized I gotta try it.
Question is, how does it taste? Let's try one.
So I grabbed a few different brands to try them out. Now the brands that I chose had to be high protein. To know if it's high protein, you gotta look at your nutritional facts, and then you take the grams of protein, you times it by 10, and it should be equal to or more than the total calories, and you know it's 40% or more. Now it'd still be low on my protein number, so you better believe I used the pre-cooked chicken strips to protein anchor that whole meal. Now this is a really convenient backup system for someone to have on hand. You keep in the freezer, you simply microwave it quickly, and you have a pretty healthy meal option on the go. Now I'm aware that there's going to be concerns around having a microwaved meal, but that's why by no means would I suggest having this routinely, but more as a backup plan, and they tasted pretty good. Now these are so lean that even with the additional chicken, it only comes in at 340 calories. So I had room to put some fruit in it, so altogether it usually came in around 420 calories and 56 grams of protein. And depending on the brand and what we'd have with it, it would range from about $10.99 to $12.50. So this meal was actually pretty filling. It tasted pretty good. It was very convenient, modestly affordable, good protein and calories, and even comes with some good nutrients from the type of vegetables in it. But given that it's a microwave dinner, I'm not going to say it's the healthiest, so it's a B+ overall. Coming in at spot number 6 is Wendy's, that has a healthy meal option for you might not know about. It's their apple pecan chicken salad. Pretty good salad option for a fast food joint, as it comes in at 490 calories and 29 grams of protein. Now, as I didn't hit my total protein target number with just the salad by itself, so I would use some more of my pre-cooked chicken strips to protein anchor it. So the whole meal came out to 611 calories and 52 grams of protein. It's pretty moderately cost for a salad on the go, as the salad itself costs just over $12. With the chicken strips, it costed $14.19. For a fast food salad, this is pretty good. It tasted quite well. I was honestly pretty full from it, and it had a pretty good amount of nutrients from the lettuce that was in it. It's modestly well priced and modestly good for protein and calories, so overall, B+. Meal number 5 has to be the way I made my protein shakes in the morning. This has to be one of the quickest way to have breakfast. You just throw a bunch of protein powder, some greens, and some flaxseed, and sometimes I would have it along with a Quest bar, and it was super quick and delicious. Or sometime in the protein shake I would put in some oats, have a side of mixed nuts, and an apple. And then these meals were so quick and easy to put together, plus they would come in under 500 calories and over 50 grams of protein. With the Quest bar, it came in around $5.47, but if I had it with the oats and the mixed nuts, it was only $3.40. So this meal is very easy to put together, very cost effective, good protein and calories. It's modestly good for nutrients and satiety, so I'm going to rate it a B+ overall. So you're going to love spot number 4 if you have a sweet tooth at night. This is my protein fruit dessert bowl. This is a wonderful sweet treat to finish off my day, and it's very affordable and a lot of nutrients. So I mix in some cottage cheese, some yogurt, some protein powder, flaxseed, cut up some strawberries and apples or whatever fruit I have on hand. Then I put in just the right amount of water so it's creamy, and then mix together. This meal would usually come in around 470 calories and 55 grams of protein. The strawberries allow me to get 100% of my vitamin C for the day, plus I'm getting 9 grams of fiber. Average cost was moderately affordable, around $5.98. I had this almost every single night, and it was so good to leave me satisfied and not craving more sweets. Here's a fun idea for you. If you know you have the right amount of cottage cheese in the container, just make it in the cottage cheese container. And if you're not sure about cottage cheese and the flavor, just know that if you mix it with chocolate protein powder, it tastes like chocolate melt. So it's a decent cost, good nutrients and macros, tastes great and good satiety, but it is supplemented protein, so A- overall. Spot number 3 is still one of my favorites, but you might get some funny looks when you go to order it. At A&W, just ask for 4 plain beef burger patties on their own. This costs $6.72, and this helps me hit my macro goal because it's around 500 calories and 50 grams of protein. And people commonly underestimate the amount of nutrients that's in red meat, so I'm getting vitamins and minerals. And so you might wonder, what's the difference between getting this and a lettuce wrap burger? And the major difference is within price, as the burger itself costed over $2 more, and it didn't have as much much protein as just the burger patties. Now, I'm not going to say it's the healthiest meal option on the go because you can have other meals that would have more vitamins and minerals coming from more fruits and vegetables. But if you're looking for a last minute idea for quick on the go that's cheap, this is one of the best. So this meal is very quick, very affordable, good protein and calories, and it leaves me quite full. It does lack variety and nutrients and fiber, so I'm going to rate it an A- overall. In spot number 2 has to be my super simple chicken spinach salad. I gotta show you how I made this because it's so easy. Pick yourself up some spinach, pre-cooked chicken, light poppy seed dressing, sliced almonds, and source no sugar yogurt. And then you mix all these ingredients and it takes less than 5 minutes. It's just under 500 calories and 59 grams of protein. Plus it's loaded with vitamins and minerals, especially vitamin K and B12. The total cost was only $7.77. And did I mention it tastes delicious and leaves you feeling full? So this meal is very affordable. It's very easy to put together. It hits the protein and calories, comes with a ton of nutrients, good satiety, and it tastes great. So I think this is an A+ overall. Now I have to tell you about my favorite meal of the week, and that is my chocolate salad. And although it looks weird, you really have to try it out before you judge it. So here's how I make it. I rip up spinach in the bowl so that it's easier to eat when I go to mix everything else in. I use 2 packs of Source no sugar added yogurt, or you can use 200 grams of plain yogurt. I chop up 150 grams of grapes and 150 grams of strawberries. And the strawberries are really important because they help release the iron that is within the spinach when you consume them together. Then put in 45 grams of chocolate protein powder. Then you put in just enough water to make it nice and creamy, usually about 30 grams of water. And then mix it all together, add more water if you need to. Then I top it off with about 15 grams of mixed nuts, and you have yourself a wonderfully tasty and crunchy chocolate salad. This comes in to total at 513 calories and 53 grams of protein. And meal cost is only $6.71. So this meal is easy to make, good protein and calories, great nutrients, very affordable, good satiety, and it tastes freaking delicious. So I think we got another A+ overall. Eating on the go can be convenient and kind of fun, but it can also be extremely expensive. So I'm going to break down the cost so that you see just how expensive it is to eat on the go. And I'm going to compare it to the previous week so you can see how I've managed to improve it. So we'll first look at the whole weekly cost of food. The first 2 weeks averaged out around $273, and this week only $237. The daily cost average for the last 2 weeks was $39.11. This week's daily average was $33.92. The meal average for the last 2 weeks was $9.78. The meal average this week was $8.48. So we're making progress, but it's still really expensive. And this is why I was choosing things like microwavable dinners and getting pre-cooked chicken strips to make things more affordable on the go. Now, after all that eating out, eating Big Macs, eating burgers by themselves, and all the other restaurants that I visited, how do you think my body composition ended up? One of the things I track and I recommend everyone does is waist circumference. You might not always see it on the scale, but if the waist is going down, you're in the right direction. And just 2 weeks into this challenge, I had already lost an inch. Then we also do a 7-site body fat skin fold test, and we predict based on where the skin folds are, where my body fat percentage might be. Initially, I was at 11.2% body fat. A couple weeks later, I was at 10.8% body fat. So 0.6% body fat in just a couple weeks is good progress. And of course, the other form of measuring is just tracking my weight. Now, I track my body weight every single day, so I have a lot of data points, and you'll see it's quite scattered, and it's hard to tell if you're making progress, but if you look at your body weight average throughout the week, then you know if you're heading in the right direction or not. On this chart, you'll see the orange points actually represent the body weight average per each respective week. So before the challenge, I was an average of 214 pounds. Then, at the end of week 1, I was on an average of 211 pounds. At the end of week 2, I was at an average of 209.8 pounds. And at the end of week 3 here, I'm an average of 208.6. And this is where trend lines are really helpful. And according to this trend line, on average, I'm losing 1.7 pounds per week. Which is good success, not only because I'm having Big Macs and all the other meals on the go, but I'm also including sweet treats along the way. Cookies and desserts with Angelina. Even at hockey, I had a Vizzy, and we had a nice treat meal at our favorite wrap restaurant, Qdoba. Now, I could have made it more calorie friendly, but instead I wanted to just enjoy a really big, satisfying meal, and it was well worth it. Weight loss is a very slow, steady progress, and instead of eating the exact same regimented food all the time until you start to resent that food and end up binging on all the other foods that you love, why not include them along the way? This way you enjoy your process and you can get the fat loss you want, and you can keep eating cookies while you're doing it. And so that's it for week number 3 here. Thank you so much for watching and tuning in, but make sure you hit the subscribe button because next week we're going to go over some more great quick ideas that you can grab from the grocery store. Plus, there's a foot-long cookie. There's a burger from one of the nicest burger joints in the city. Plus, there's Easter dinner. So make sure to keep following for more of the Fat Loss on the Go challenge.